Hey, how you doing? Michael again. Here to tell you about my journey as a recovering drug addict and alcoholism and just an all-around, I'd say fuck up, but that's not really been my life. I'm not a finisher. So I've done pretty good in life, career-wise, but I let it all crumble. I build it up, crumbles. I build it up great, crumbles, start over. So it's just a reoccurring theme. And I learned about it and I stopped the cycle. I stopped a generational curse. My father drank till he died. He never gave up. He never realized what I realized. His father never realized what he realized. My father married a narcissist, my mother. My dad's dad married a narcissist, my grandmother, Helen. I thought she was just an amazing woman. She sure was. Huh! So's mom. So this video is talking about how I discovered what I discovered and how it completely changed my life. After a really bad marriage and breakup from my ex-wife, mentally, physically abusive, extremely, I kind of had a little breakdown. It wasn't a breakdown as in like some crazy thing. I just stopped going out drinking. I didn't quit the drinking and drugs right away, but I stopped going out. I just thought about my life, obsessed about my life and its problems. And I just refused to continue the way that I was living, and I tried to fix it and figure out what was going on. And I realized that my ex-wife is a narcissist. I never even knew what a narcissist was. I didn't know anything about any of these people, any of this stuff. So it was hard to pinpoint what she was. I thought she just had bipolar and she had a drinking problem and just a bad temper. She masked her bad behavior with her period cycles and her drinking. So she did really good at it. She knew it this whole time. She was masking it from me. So she's playing a game with me, but she's playing by herself. I don't know anything about this. So she got over on me on a lot of things, but they're all those stupid things. In the end, they all hurt herself. Everything that she did to me, really, none of it bothered me. She just hurt herself. She got used by other men. She screwed up her life. She's about to lose a gorgeous house. She lost her reputation. The only reason she has a job is because I kept it quiet for her. The only reason she's not in jail is because I let her off the hook when she got arrested in domestic violences. I don't want her to get in trouble because she takes care of my kid. She's my child's mom. And I'm not vindictive. I'm not mad at her about anything. So what happened is, it was such a severe situation. I went into hibernation and tried to figure out my life. Once I realized that she was a narcissist, and then I realized my past relationships were narcissists. My friends, narcissists. Not all, but some of my close friends. I searched these people out. I was such a codependent, and I was trained by my mother so much that I took this abuse from random people that I became my friends and girlfriends because my mother trained me. So once I found out that my wife was a narcissist, all my friends were narcissists, I tried to figure out what the fuck is going on in my life. Why am I like this? So I was living with my mother, and I studied her over and over, and I set little traps for her because I started to study what narcissists are. Doctors, videos, everything you could think of, nonstop. I obsessed about it. I'm smart. I have really high reading comprehension, and so I just went nonstop videos trying to figure this out. I really figured it all out so I could manipulate my wife in an upcoming marriage. I'm trying to figure out what she is and trying to figure out what happened to me throughout our marriage. So I learned everything you can imagine. And how my mom slipped up and I found out that she was a narcissist is by the stupidest story. In fifth grade, my dad bet me that I couldn't get honor roll. I said, yeah, I can. So I was a C student. I never applied myself. Always smart, but never applied myself. Always did enough just to get by in life. This is what the big changing in my life is. I always did enough to get by in life. I'm a good person, but I fucked up all over the place, so I'm just going to slide into heaven. I'm going to get into heaven, but I'm just going to slide in. I'm just going to slide in to pass my classes. I'm just going to slide in life. I'm just going to get enough retirement to slide in. I'm just going to slide in everywhere. I'm not going to take it to the fucking top like I should. And that's because my mother instilled in me that I didn't have it. That I wasn't as smart as I think that I am. I'm not as good as I am. And I'm good, but I'm not that good. That's exactly what she instilled on purpose. So I got the honor roll like my dad bet me that I was supposed to. You know what my mom's response was? But it wasn't straight A's. No, that was great, honey. She brought up straight A's. And the way that I remember that is she brought up the story to me a month ago. Right when she said that, my heart broke. She said to me, as a 42-year-old man, and I brought up the story how proud I was that I got honor roll. Do you know what she said to me? But it wasn't straight A's. I looked at her with hurt, and I looked her right in the face. I tilted my head, and I said, "You motherfucker." And I knew right there something was up, so I started to test her all over the house. She has to get the last word, and so she dominates. So what she's been doing to me my whole life is dominating me, and she made me the scapegoat out of my whole family. I got a huge family, so she'd tell them about how I'm a loser drug addict and all this. She'd bring up jokes on like Christmas and Thanksgiving and try to knock me down. Like, you know, friends will talk bad about you and they pretend they're kidding, but they do all these evil stuff to you. My mom does that to me. I'm the family scapegoat. My dad left my mom $2 million. She blew it because a lot of narcissists, they don't have good money management. They don't have good management on a lot of stuff. So she blew $2 million. She blew it on bad real estate investments. I was getting in trouble with the law, a bunch of lawyer fees and all this other stuff. So she told the whole family that it was my fault that she blew the $2 million. When she blew the $2 million, my dad just died of cancer, and my first kid's mother died in a car accident. I was a human train wreck. She bought me all these condos and all this stuff, and she blamed it on a 21-year-old idiot that didn't know anything, and I was high on drugs. And that's the story that she sticks to vehemently, that I blew that $2 million, even though I never had a dollar in any bank account or anything. So that's her story to this day is I'm that reason. And my 21-year-old, for a while we had money troubles, and she would pin that on it. And my 21-year-old confronted me and said, "You're the one that made Mom Grammy lose all that money." So like she pits my own son against me. She pits all my other family members against me, and she blames me for everything. So she makes resentment through the whole family against me, and she does that, and she does it on purpose. She knows she's doing it. She's taking so this is why me and my mother don't have a good relationship right now. I confronted her and I told her all these things. And basically what I told her is, if you weren't my mom, I'd kill you. Because I've added up all the horrible, horrible things that she's done to me. But the crazy thing about it is she taught me morals and honesty. And at one point, I was made almost $200,000 at a job. So she taught me a lot of great things, but she had to keep power over me. All that other stuff she was doing behind my back, I didn't even really notice the scapegoat shit, because I think I'm awesome, so that shit doesn't really bother me. I kind of take it as a badge in life. Is I'm not the same as everyone else. I don't conform. I do what I think is right and I go with it. So all that scapegoat shit never bothered me. But once I realized that even now she tries to dominate me, then I started to get pissed, and so now I turn the tables on her. She loses her fucking mind. So now she picks on my son. I tried to explain this to my son and tell him to try to stop these behaviors, but he's too young, and I broke it down to him what's going on. He's going to have to start seeing it for himself like I did. So I just explained it. You can't make anyone do anything. You can just give them the facts, and hopefully they come around to it. So now I'm using drugs. I'm drinking. I'm only drinking on the weekends, but I'm a binge drinker. When normal, healthy people, they don't binge drink. Or if they do, it's a mistake, and they don't do it again for a long time. I would binge drink because I'd be wanting to hurt myself. I'm self-hurting myself. I'm getting in bad relationships with people because I'm self-hurting myself. I didn't think I was worth it. I didn't think I was going to live long. I didn't think I was worth everything, because my own mother didn't love me. My own mother never loved me. She's a narcissist. They don't love in the same capacity that normal people do. I'm a thing. I'm an item. Especially to her, I'm her human toilet to put all of her negative feelings on. So once I realized about my ex-wife, all my past relationships, all my friends, and then I realized about my mother, and I realized that a lot of these problems, they weren't my problems. They weren't my issues. The things getting put on me by other people. And I got my mom off of me. I confronted her. So one of the things she tries to do is dominate. She gets the last word on every single thing. So now every time she does that, I scream, I freak out, I broke her. So what you have to do with these narcissists, you have to train these freaking things. Because if it's not worth it to them to do certain things, they'll stop. So what I do is, just like I do in real life with other people. And like, I don't want to have a conflict with a man, but if they do push me into a conflict, I'm going to do something so horribly and so frightening to them that they will never try that again. I learned that when I was younger and I had to go to prison. So that's how I do it with my mom. Whenever she tries to bully me or tries to do something, I act and so freaking pissed off and crazy, she doesn't do it again. And I've been doing it for the last couple of months, and she's starting to lay off on certain things. She's fucking scared to death of me. But she's a narcissist. They're different. They're not scared. She's not scared of me, like scared, like crying or hiding from me. She's scared I'm going to expose her. So she's tricky. So she doesn't get herself in the position where she's going to look like an asshole anymore, because she's still trying to control my son. So she's not having a mental narcissist breakdown because she still has my son that she's getting supply and fucking with him. So she lost me, and she still doesn't accept that fact. But so I refuse to let my mom do anything for me, anything, because when narcissists do something for you, they hold power over you. It's like, so, oh, I did this for you, how can you act like this to me? So I refuse. I am 100%. What made me get free from life and change? I don't drink or do drugs anymore. Zero. I got self-confidence. So drinking and drugs to me is self-hurt. Like, cutters, people with knives, they cut themselves to make themselves feel better. Me going out and getting drunk tonight would be the same thing as cutting off like a finger. It hurts. Why would I do that? That's not how I used to look at things, because I wanted to numb the pain. I wanted the self-hurt. But I love myself and I'm happy now. And like, I don't crave drugs. My life is completely different. The other big thing that happens once I got free of these chains and I realized everything happens, so that's why you need to go to counseling and figure this stuff out, is the chains got lifted off me. Once the chains got lifted off of me, my brain, in the way that I think, I was always smart, but now I'm enlightened. I don't have these stresses of my mom bullying me or trying to do stuff to me, my ex-wife doing this and doing all my stuff. My brain's working at full capacity. I just came up with this crazy new idea for business. I have a lot of different ideas for a lot of different stuff. And I'm going to build off of what we know of narcissism. So that's a lot what these videos are going to be about, is I'm going to tell you the real deal, and I'm going to tell you some points that even the best doctors are close on, but they're not quite right, and even further than that on some situations. One thing I'm going to talk about is I believe there's a direct correlation between narcissistic mothers and children with ADD. I believe ADD kids are blocking out the abuse by their parents. So they spend so much time blocking out the abuse, and the threat of bullying by their parents is that they block everything else out all the time. So it's like a constant blinder on them. So whenever they have to learn something, they can't sit still because they're trying to not to sit still to anything, because they're blocking out pain. I got a strong thing here, and I'm going to prove it. So I'm starting a new business. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to put a lot of research into this, and I'm going to prove a direct correlation between ADD and narcissistic abusive mothers. So, like I said, this was my journey. This is how I found out about narcissism. This is how I found out about my family narcissism. My dad married my mom. My dad's dad had a mom that was a wife that was a narcissist. I have a 4-generational narcissistic family, and I broke the curse and found out what it is. You'd think, well, you have a narcissist mom and you have a narcissist wife. Why aren't you a narcissist? You're a narcissist. There's a component that makes narcissist. It's extreme trauma. So you can have a narcissist mom and get bullied, and you're just a codependent. You get used to being like their bitch. But what makes you a narcissist is you're a codependent, you're getting bullied, and a traumatic event. I had a great childhood. Everything was great. My dad was great. He had a drinking problem, but he was never abusive or mean to me. He was an awesome dad. He's one of my favorite people on earth. So I got lucky. My mom's like a super, super covert narcissist, and my dad was an amazing person. So I got lucky on that. So I have all of my traits are pretty healthy, normal traits. I've done a lot of self-work and self-exploration, and I'm doing pretty good, and I'd be willing to sit down with any doctor that ever wanted to talk to me. I find it kind of soothing. Me talking to you right now actually is a little bit soothing, and I get things off my chest. Hopefully I help out some people, and I'm going to, like I said, it's adding to my new business that I'm working on. So I'm going to get my face out there and get my ideas out there. A lot of it's going to be some groundbreaking stuff. So that's how I found out about narcissism, of narcissist parents, and what I am, a recovering codependent to narcissism. I form healthy relationships with friends and members of the opposite sex. It's a whole completely different thing. I take a lot of time out of my daily day for self-love. I don't hurt myself. I exercise. I meditate. I keep everything clean and in order everywhere into my life. Not compulsive order, clean and order, everything workable. Everything makes sense. And the number one thing that I do for self-love is I'm 100% honest with myself. I don't lie to myself. I make mistakes just like anyone else. And I'm going to do better next time. I'm going to try. I want other people to be happy. I want other people to do good in life. I need you guys to be happy and do good in life because you're going to affect my kids, you're going to affect my kids' kids, and you're going to affect our environment and our life. So that's another reason why I'm trying to help is I need you guys to be good so you don't affect my family. Does that make sense? All right, thank you.